A very good morning, students. Welcome back to the class Natural Resources. Today we have to learn about the soil. Soil is an important resource that decides the diversity of life in an area. But what is the soil and how it is formed? Soil becomes a different types of for different types of people because soil means it is nothing but a playground for a child, and soil is nothing but it is a home for a farmer to grow the food. And for the different people what happen thereby you can find a different ways of thinking in a different types of people. The outermost layer of a earth is called the crust, and the minerals found in this layer supply a variety of nutrients to life forms. But these minerals will not be available to the organisms if the minerals are bound up in huge rocks. Over long periods of time, thousands and millions of years, the rocks at or near the surface of the earth are broken down by various physical, chemical, and some biological process. The end product of this breaking down is the fine particles of soil. But what are the factors or process that make soil? The sun heats up rocks during the day so that they expand. At night, these rocks cool down and once again they start to contract. So, hereby, when they start to contract and even expand, thereby the particles which are present here, thereby what happen? It starts to loose. Since all parts of the rock do not expand and contract at the same rate, this results in the formation of cracks and ultimately the huge rocks breaks up into smaller pieces where we are going to call it as formation of soil. Water helps in the formation of soil in two ways. One, water could get into the cracks in the rocks formed due to uneven heating by the sun. If this water freezes, it would cause the cracks to widen. 2. Flowing water weighs away even hard rock over long period of time. Fast flowing water often carries big and small particles of rock downstream. These rocks rub against other rocks and the resultant abrasion causes the rocks to wear down into smaller and smaller particles. The water then takes these particles along with it and deposits it further down its path. Soil is thus found in the places far away from this parent rock. You can see in this picture, children, that is once broken down here. As the cracks are found, thereby water enters it, and the forces thereby what happen you can see here as the water enters, thereby you can see that is the water starts freezes and the rock starts to break into smaller pieces. In a process similar to the way in which water rubs against rocks and weighs them down, strong winds also erode rocks down. The wind also carries sand from one place to other like water does. Living organisms also influence the formation of soil. The lichen that we read about earlier also grows on the surface of a rocks. While growing, they release certain substances that cause the rock surface to powder down and form a thin layer of soil. You can see here the picture, and even you might have seen in the places where you are going for a trip and all. Other small plants like moss are able to grow on this surface now and they cause the rock to break up further. The roots of big trees sometimes go into cracks in the rocks, and as the roots grow bigger and the crack is forced. Soil is nothing but it is a mixture. It contains small particles of rock. It also contains bits of decayed living organisms which are called as humus. In addition, soil also contains various forms of microscopic life. The type of soil is decided by the average size of particles found in it, and the quality of soil is decided by the amount of humus and the microscopic organisms found in it. Humus is a major factor in deciding the soil structure because it causes the soil to become more porous and allows water and air to penetrate deep underground. The mineral nutrients that are found in a particular soil depends on the rock it was form. The nutrient content of a soil, the amount of humus present in it and the depth of the soil are some of the factors that decides which plants will thrive on the soil. Thus, the topmost layer of a soil that contains humus and living organisms in addition to the soil particles is called topsoil. The quality of the topsoil is an important factor that decides the biodiversity in that area. Means thereby we can easily find out that is what type of organisms are found in it. These are the pictures showing that is a soil pollution. You can see erosion, agriculture, household waste, plastic, and even mining. Along with it, modern farming practices involve the usage of large amounts of fertilizers and pesticides. Use of these substances over long period of time can destroy the soil structure by killing the soil microorganisms that recycle nutrients in the soil. It also kills the earthworm which are instrumental in making the rich humus. Fertile soil can quickly be turned into a barren if sustainable practices are not followed. Removal of useful components from the soil and addition of other substances which adversely affect the fertility of the soil and kill the diversity of organisms that live in it is called soil pollution. Soil pollution is nothing but where the types of a soil which will be leading for the soil pollution will be mainly because of a human activities, the fertilizers or the industrial waste or anything which comes in contact with the soil will change the pH or even the acid nature of a soil so that no organism can survive in that soil, and even fertilizers or the nutrients which are present in the soil will be removed so that the soil will loses what the nutrients and even water content. If there is no water content means humus also will be removed so that it will leads for the land to become a barren, and so that what happened thereby you can see that is soil pollution. The soil that we see today in one place has been created over a long period of time. We all know that is how we are having renewable resources or non-renewable resources. Even soil is also called as a non-renewable resources because for the formation of a soil it takes a millions of years, not only a number of years. However, some of the factors that created the soil in the first place and brought the soil to that place may be responsible for the removal of the soil too. The fine particles of soil may be carried away by flowing water or wind. If the soil gets washed away and the rocks underneath are exposed, we have lost a valuable source because very little will grow on a rock. Effect of flowing water on a topsoil. You can see the picture over here. That is, if there are plants means what happened, and if there is no plants means what happened. Thereby you can see a soil will directly wash away, and here the soil will be retained by the roots because root plays a very important role in holding the soil. The roots of a plant have an important role in preventing soil erosion. The large scale of deforestation, and that is happening all over the world, not only destroys biodiversity, it also leads to soil erosion. Topsoil that is bare of vegetation is likely to be removed very quickly, and this is accelerated in hilly or mountainous region. This process of soil erosion is very difficult to reverse. Vegetative cover on the ground has a role to play in the percolation of water into the deeper layers too.